Today, we're going to peel back the layers of what it really takes to become a pilot. And what you're going to find is that all the licenses, all the rules, and all the logbooks, they all point back to one single incredibly important thing. So here's how we'll break it down. First, we'll talk about the one core idea that drives everything in aviation. Then we'll follow a brand new student pilot on their journey. After that, we'll see how pilots add new skills. We'll navigate the invisible highways in the sky. And finally, we'll talk about the massive weight of responsibility every pilot carries with them. You know, to really understand flying, we have to start with one big question. Now, you might think it's the engine, right? Or maybe some super advanced flight computer, but it's not. The answer is actually the person sitting in the captain's chair. Yep, the pilot. Think about it. Every single rule, every checklist, all the training, it's all designed to support and manage the human being in the cockpit. The entire system of aviation safety is really just a system for managing human factors. And this isn't some inspirational quote from a movie. This comes directly from an actual aviation manual. It sets the tone right away. Flying is serious business, and it's an environment that is constantly testing a pilot's judgment and self-awareness. Okay, so let's see how this all plays out in the real world. We're going to follow a hypothetical student, we'll call her Alex, as she starts her training from day one. The second Alex signs up, she's officially a student pilot. And what's the very first requirement? It's not just to read the manuals, she's required to possess her own personal copies. Right from the get-go, the system is drilling in this idea. Flying isn't about winging it, it's about knowing the book and following the procedures. And every pilot's career is tracked in one place, their logbook. This thing is so much more than a diary. It's a legal document. It's the official, undeniable record of their experience, where every single minute they spend in the air is accounted for and signed off on. Just look at the amount of detail for one flight. It's incredible. You've got the date, the plane, who was in charge, for how long, where you went. This isn't just about counting hours. It's about creating a paper trail, a chain of responsibility, which is absolutely key to managing the human side of learning to fly. So, for Alex to get her first big qualification, there's a clear path. She needs to fly a minimum of 25 hours, nail her written exams, and then prove her skills in a practical flight test. But hang on, look at step one. Right there, baked into her initial theory training, is a mandatory course on human factors. Understanding yourself is just as critical as understanding the airplane. And that's a perfect lead-in to our next part. Because earning that first pilot certificate, that's not the finish line. It's not even close. It's really just a license to keep on learning. The way pilots add to their skill set is through things called endorsements. The best way to think about them is as specializations. You don't just become a generic pilot. You become a pilot who is specifically qualified to carry passengers or fly at night or handle a certain type of aircraft. And the variety is pretty amazing. You have the really foundational stuff like being able to carry passengers or navigate over long distances, but then you get into these highly specialized skills like flying below 500 feet or towing gliders. Each one of these presents a new set of human challenges, and each requires its own specific training to manage those challenges safely. And here we are again with this crucial point. Before Alex can even be recommended for her certificate, she has to pass that human factors course. The system is basically saying, before we trust you with an airplane, you have to prove you understand the basics of human psychology, how you react to stress, and how you make decisions under pressure. All right, so you've got a qualified pilot, but they aren't just flying around in a big empty sky. They are operating inside this huge, invisible infrastructure of rules and boundaries that's designed to keep everybody safe. And you can see that system on aviation charts. These aren't just maps, they're incredibly complex tools. And notice the different scales. A VTC is super detailed, for that high-stress environment around a busy airport. Then you have a WAC, which gives you the big picture for long flights. The tool is always tailored to the human task at hand. These charts are also covered in different kinds of airspace. Take a danger area. It's not forbidden, but the name itself is a human factors tool, isn't it? It's a big warning sign that screams, hey, pay extra attention here. Be more vigilant. It's designed to flick a switch in the pilot's brain to raise their awareness. And then you've got the total opposite, a prohibited area. The rule is simple. It's absolute. You do not enter, ever. By making the rules so black and white, The system completely removes any need for a pilot to make a judgment call in a critical situation. It's a classic way to minimize the chance of human error. And all of this brings us to our final act, the ongoing, never-ending responsibility that comes with being a pilot. Because the learning and the testing, it never really stops. So what's this number? 2. Well, every 2 years, a pilot has to undergo a mandatory flight review with an instructor. It's a checkup to make sure their skills are still sharp. The system is built on the reality that skills can fade over time, and this is the defense against that very human tendency towards complacency. And the duties are constant. You have to be medically fit. You have to follow strict rules like no alcohol within 8 hours of flying. You have to do detailed pre-flight planning for every single trip. It's a discipline that demands you are always ready, personally and professionally. This right here, this is a direct quote from a pilot's exam question, and it really gets to the heart of everything. After all the rules, all the training, all the support systems, who's ultimately on the hook for the safety of the flight? The answer is always the same: the pilot in command. At the end of the day, the entire system is an incredible effort to manage the fact that humans make mistakes. It gives pilots the rules, it gives them the skills, but it can never take away the final burden of command. In that one critical moment, it all comes down to the judgment and integrity of that one person in the cockpit.